I know it's a little loud out here, but it's pretty chill. I like the birds chirping. And we need to really soak up some of this energy right now between like the lunar eclipse and the solar eclipse. I would do a lot of sunbathing, especially while it's not super hot out. This is a really great time to do some energy work out in the sun, out in the moonlight. All of this energy, super bright, super charging, super relaxing, and super healing. If you have not spent enough time outdoors, I definitely recommend doing it during this time. In general, too, let's be real, but right now specifically, uh, there's, and as I'm saying this, there's a lot of energy coming up right now, or not even coming up, it's going on, because we just had the lunar eclipse, and then we're having a solar eclipse right after. So I'm trying to readjust. It's a little different being on the floor. I haven't like sat down and like really meditated for a while. I realized why I've been so turbulent for like a long time and why I haven't really been making a whole lot of content. Um, I've been cooping myself up indoors and working, and being kind of like a workaholic and just kind of drowning myself in work, which is obviously not healthy. So if that is your message, that is your message. Go outside, do some energy work, meditate. Just get some sun particles on your skin, bro. You need vitamins. Anyway, so let's talk about this energy because there is, and I've talked about this on my TikTok. I don't, make different content for TikTok. I just kind of like utilize that as like a summarized version of this full reading. So, um, excuse me for mentioning TikTok. I just want people to gain a little bit more clarity if they do come from TikTok to watch the full video readings. Anyway, so aside from that, um, there was this message on my TikTok video of just kind of getting some um triggers coming up. We did get the tower card too. It was like the second, as I said the word triggers, the tower card fell out. So I'm just gonna bring that up. We did get the Seven of Chalices right off the bat, and I just realized too that these cards really they don't necessarily connect, but right here that they kind of do. And I've noticed this about this deck a few times. This is a very popular deck. Um, damn, it's hard to see when you're looking at it, but there's almost like this flow right here, and like this line connects. It's hard to see. Maybe because my camera's not focused, but like right here, these two lines kind of connect. I know that sounds like something really simple and small, but those small details do matter. And it just kind of shows you how these two cards kind of connect. So if you are kind of like new to tarot and you want to learn a little bit more about like tarot insight, imagery in your deck, every deck is unique. The image, or sorry, the message will always be like generalized, but if you go off of like the images in your tarot cards, tarot tips, I should just title that for today. No, but seriously, like if you just like tap into like the imagery on your cards, you can kind of see how things interconnect and how they flow together so you can understand a little bit more of the process. That was a sign. That was my dryer finishing the load. That's funny. So anyway, we got the Seven of Cups right away. This is a big chance for like renewal and rejuvenation and just being able to see past what you already wanted to manifest. Hear me out. Cuz before when we were manifesting, we were just kind of like practicing and honing down on our manifestation skills so we could really understand what we're capable of manifesting. And with that being said, this is kind of like this opportunity to kind of manifest more of like our real desires, if that makes sense. Because, okay, let's be real. Sometimes when we manifest things right off the bat, we're not really manifesting what we truly desire. We're just manifesting what we think we desire. And I know that sounds strange because, well, why wouldn't I know what I want? Tell yourself that in the mirror a few times and contemplate that. That's your thing, not mine. Anyway, I'm just joking. Sorry, but you know what I mean. Like, we don't always know what we want right away. But at the same time, a lot of this was like an opportunity to figure out what we do actually want and what we don't really want. So it would manifest things that aligned with what we thought we wanted, what we were saying we desired. Bro, that is a nasty, rotten potato. My dog is so strange. Hey, bro. Whatever. Anyway, see what I mean? Bro, that's gonna taste gross. She walked away from it. Is that not a universal message right there? She thought she wanted the potato and she realized it was gross and rotten and she walked away. The signs are everywhere. You just gotta look for it. 609 as I said that. This energy is beautiful. I love it. I really do. It's very consistent, it's concise, the message is clear. I enjoy that. Thank you, universe. I hate being confused by the universe. Sometimes the messages are unclear and confusing on purpose though. Anyway, so with that being said, oh wow, we got two seven cards. That's funny. We got the Seven of Cups and then we got the Seven of Wands here. So, going through and challenging your own perceptions, challenging your own perceptions of reality and what you desire, has made you kind of like come up with a different game plan because you're kind of like realizing, okay, well, maybe that wasn't the best thing for me, or maybe it wasn't going to give me the things I thought that it was going to give me or provide for me. Or maybe you're just kind of shifting gears and you're like, you know what? That's really great that I can manifest that for myself. But I'm actually Quinn, what are you doing? Why are you just she's just eating dirt now. Anyway, you should have just ate that potato. Decisions. Decisions, decisions. But yeah, so it's kind of like given us a little bit more clarity and insight on like what we really are capable of manifesting. And so we're coming into this energy of the King of Wands, being able to see past our capabilities, if you will, like seeing past our capabilities is kind of driving us into like this leadership mindset. So you're not looking at what you're capable of, you're like kind of seeing past that. Like you're like realizing that you're capable of like way more than what you perceived previously. And so now that you see past that illusion, you're coming into this, oh, well, you know what? I'm going to hone this down and just basically not even manifest, but just embody this new energy, this leadership energy, this creative energy, um this visionary person. This you're very passionate, visionary. And a lot of that energy did come from all of the trial and error. It did. But a lot of it's really dragging, or not dragging you, but kind of like pulling you drastically in the right direction. So it's not to say, you know, there's this thing about, sorry, there's a car coming. There's this thing about mastering like manifestation skill. Like, it's one thing to be able to manifest like your desires, but to really understand like the true lessons behind your desires. And this is where shadow work really becomes important. Because this is this thing about the universe. This is I'm telling you a lot of secrets. The universe probably doesn't want you to hear this. But if you can understand what the universe is testing you for, hear me out. You can understand what you're being tested on, and then you yourself can understand like some deeper layers about your own psyche. And this is where shadow work really comes into play, because you're understanding some things about your manifestations and why you desired them in the first place. I know, I know. The master universe is very tricky. Tricky bastard. Always testing us, always challenging us and our own psyche and our own desires. But it's for a very important reason. Very healthy reason. Because a lot of our desires, they don't stimulate from like the healthiest of places. They kind of stimulate from traumas, and a lot of those traumas can really not well, they will provide a lot of barriers for what we're really wanting. um so you can still like basically manifest your desires, hear me out, but it's not going to necessarily be the thing that you think you're manifesting. So this is also a big reason on why we're tested through this manifestation and alchemy work. Like why we're really tested is to really understand some of uh, the triggers behind our manifestations, and why we're trying to manifest things that do um, do coincide with our triggers. Because a lot of the times we'll notice later on that we were manifesting a lot of our traumas in different forms. So, and that's I know that that sounds that's shadow work. I mean, I can't really put it lightly. That's shadow work. Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, it's turbulent. Yeah, it's dirty and muddy, but it's very important for you to realize some things about yourself that you wouldn't have faced even with mirror work. I love. Hold up, something's going on. That was really strange. Did you hear that? I hope you heard that with my mic. My smoke alarm just randomly went off. I know my dad changed the battery not too long ago. There's nothing going on in the. I'm gonna check the kitchen, but there's nothing going on. It just went off once and then stopped. Yeah, dude, I don't know if you're bear witnessing all of these messages right now in this video, but holy crap. That was my power going out for a second. I just flickered and went back on, and everything reset itself. So that's why the smoke alarm went off. I don't know if you heard that. That was like divine alignment, bro. So going back to mirror work, no matter how much mirror work you really put in with shadow work, a lot of these things won't really manifest themselves because of the blockages in our psyche. We literally have blockages to kind of protect ourselves from trauma. So a lot of mirror work is very beneficial, but it won't really tap into some of this deeper stuff within you. So when you tap into some of this deeper stuff within you, through manifesting your desires, you'll start to realize why some of those manifestations had some blockages. It wasn't necessarily that the universe was keeping you from your manifestations. It was like you were subconsciously blocking your own manifestations through manifesting your trauma, if that makes sense. So, you weren't really manifesting like any of like the truer aspects of what you wanted to. I know it sounds complicated and it doesn't make sense the way I say it, but you're manifesting what you want, but you're still manifesting like traumas within your manifestations. So it's important to understand like the layers and why you're desiring something, so you can kind of reveal some of the things that you still need to heal before those manifestations will come into you at a good point in your life, because everything does actually have divine timing for a reason. And that's not to say that, you're gonna have to wait and wait and wait and wait for everything to happen for you. It's just to say that there's a time and place for everything, and sometimes we need to kind of take a step back and realize that, what we're manifesting, what we're trying to like tap in and manifest over and over again, a lot of those things can be attachments to our traumas and not actual manifestations of our desires, if that makes sense. I know it won't honestly make sense like right away if you're not allowing yourself to look at these things from a different perspective. But when you do allow yourself to look at it from an open view, you'll start to see some of what I'm talking about. I know it won't always make sense right away, but it will make sense in time. So this is like your clarity message. So if it doesn't make sense now, it's going to reveal itself and make sense later. Anyway, so we did get this King of Cups energy. We got a lot of, hmm, that's funny. The See what I mean here? The first two cards was a Seven of Cups and a Seven of Wands, and then we got the King of Wands and the King of Cups. Wow. The seven is a very 333. These messages today, bro. This is like I don't know what I'm gonna title this video, but this message is for you, bro. Wow. Seven is a very very divine number. Is probably the most divine number in existence. No, it's not. 13 is, but seven's up there. So we did get the King of Wands. We already talked about that. Let's talk about this King of Cups. The King of Cups energy is really really reining into your emotions and allowing yourself to really connect with your inner desires. So even if you were manifesting triggers, it's not to say that those triggers were necessarily like bad for you. It's not like what you were manifesting was bad for you or bad in any way. It's just the why behind it is the importance of the process. The why is really important in shadow work. So why are you manifesting this? And when you realize those parts of your manifestations, you come into this King of Wands and this King of Cups energy, and you start to be like this master of emotion. You start mastering emotional balance, emotional regulation. So you become this very powerful conduit, and you realize how much more in control of energy that you were previously aware of. There's a lot of butterflies today. It's like kind of a season for change, season for really stepping into who we really are. And honestly feels like the first real day of spring. I think from here on it'll probably be warm here where I'm at. Sorry if there's yogurt. But those are really good. I'm telling you, I'm not sponsored by Chobani. These are really good for breakfast. If you're not a breakfast person, you just need something in your tummy in the morning, because you do. These are really good. But yeah, it's very important to really understand what you're manifesting. So the universe is gonna put you on like these trial and errors, and nobody's gonna tell you this either. Nobody's gonna tell you this when you're doing spiritual work. You may come across somebody who will warn you, like me. I don't think the warning matters for you though. If you're watching this, you probably already realized a lot of this stuff, and this is just your confirmation. Damn. We got the Knight of Chalices too. So if you're feeling kind of like if you're having some like mixed feelings about this, I get it. Nobody wants to be tested in their manifestations. I know it's not the message you want to hear. The shadow work is very important, and I'll tell you why. While the car is crossing by, it's not to tell you that what you're doing is wrong in your manifestations, or that you're manifesting something beyond you, or something that you're not necessarily ready for. Um, but it really is going to show you a lot more about you know, where you are in your life and if you are actually energetically ready for these transitions that you're manifesting. And it's not, again, to test your readiness, but really just to kind of show you your own readiness. So, like, if you're getting to that point where you can walk into these manifestations, it's kind of like a symbol or a message that you're ready for this chapter in your life anyway. But it's also going to kind of, I don't know why this came up in my brain. I know. I need to play some video games apparently. But Resident Evil 4, the 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 merchant dude, he like opens his jacket and he's like, "Here's my wares." It's basically what the universe is doing for you. Like, here, this is what you can buy. This is the marketplace. This is your opportunities. These exist. Are you sure you want this one? Are you sure you want that one? Contemplate it, think about it, and then manifest it. So, a lot of your manifestations will be very sporadic at first, too. And then, to be honest, like, I was honestly like traumatized. I know this sounds strange, but I was honestly traumatized by my first manifestation. My first manifestation was moving here. I just wanted a better life, and that's what I got. And it was really, really crazy at first. Like, I was not ready for this. I was not ready for this energy. I was not ready to just step into something better for myself. 'Cause I had a lot of trauma, a lot of karmic wounds, a lot of attachments and belief that I was undeserving of more. And so I was still tapped into a trauma cycle, if you will. So as I was manifesting, I was still stuck into trauma. And so my manifestations traumatized me and scared me because I was like, I am capable of so much fucking magic. Like, literally. This is what literally happened. I was so fucking scared that I manifested something so fucking awesome and I traumatized myself. I know that sounds fucking weird, but I did. And now I'm way more comfortable with it, of course, because I can realize that, just because I'm manifesting something doesn't mean like I'm needy or demanding of the universe. This is just my desires. This is just what I want in the moment. And as long as I mentally and psychologically and physically align with my desires, they'll come to me in healthy forms. So that's why we practice shadow work. That is why we practice shadow work before we tap into these higher levels of manifestation. And it's a very important step because manifestation can actually be pretty scary. And I would love to hear some other stories about that because if other people have experienced that, I would love to hear that because I personally thought it was really strange. And it gave me like almost like a god complex for a little while. Not the god complex where what you're probably thinking about where you think like you're above everyone and everything. That's not true god complex. True god complex is like, hold up. I just want you to know that was a message to the garbage man just drove by. Like, true complex is actually really scary to embody. I'm sure that there are some evil people who believed that they mastered it, but true God complex isn't thinking you're some like all all time being. It's not really that feeling. That is kind of like a different type of God complex than what I'm talking about. Like true God complex is where you think that you are literally the universe and nothing else is real. That's how I felt. So if that makes sense to you, please let me know. Um I know that that's like strange, taboo, and bizarre to think about. I've totally gone past that. I've totally revealed and healed a lot of my traumas because of feeling that way. But there are really crazy, complex things in the universe that will reveal itself to people who are energetically ready for it and who are just necessarily maybe not ready but energetically aligned for it, because it doesn't necessarily if you're matter if you're ready. The universe will kind of align you into readiness. But like, buddy, please don't start barking. I'm gonna actually cut this off here in a second as it gets louder in the day. We're getting later in the day, so more people are actually doing stuff. But yeah, so this is like just the way of kind of like this is also, I just want you to know too, this is also a sign that you're on like some higher path of manifestation. And I'm not to say like you're above anybody else either. Like this isn't about ego. You're on like this path for a higher level of manifestation because you have like this divine path for yourself where you're going to also be able to teach a lot of this to other people. So it doesn't matter where you think you are in your state of being. If you're honestly, if you're watching this, you're having like this higher calling for you right now. And this is your sign that the universe is calling you into this energetic alignment so we can shift other things that are becoming ready. You know how at the beginning of this video I said that, a lot of us are being much more prepared and ready for the more revelations that are coming. And this doesn't have anything to do with like godliness in the Bible and religion or anything, but it does at the same time. There's a lot of crazy messages and hidden religion, but this isn't the time or place. Um, but my point is there's a lot more revealing itself in the universe collectively, so a lot of us needed to become ready before other people would be ready, so other people can come into this divine alignment, so we can basically realign this planetary shift, but not realign it, just we're all on this alignment anyway. But you know what I mean? We're coming into this path, and this is your sign that this is where you're headed. So I hope that makes sense. Some of it may not make sense now, but again, if it doesn't make sense now, it will make sense here really, really soon. Like the universe is just gonna show you. This is just it trying to communicate, and if the message doesn't come through clear enough, it's gonna come clear enough later. Okay, I love you guys. If you do want a private reading, the link is in my bio, or actually, I don't know why I said bio. I'm used to doing TikTok. The link is down below, and I will be going live later on Twitch too. So if you want a live reading by donation, I will be doing that as well. Okay, bye.